The Sun in a Jar. The world was holding its breath. A great war raged across lands and seas, and every day the news brought stories of faraway battles. In a quiet laboratory far from the noise, a man named Dr. Elias Vance looked not at maps of the world, but at things so small they were invisible. He was a scientist, and he believed the tiniest parts of the universe, the atoms, held a secret power greater than any army. One day, a stern man in a uniform, General Sterling, came to the lab. "Elias," he said, his voice low and serious, "the war is getting worse. We have learned the enemy is also trying to unlock the atom's power. We must get there first. We need a weapon that can end this war." Elias knew the general was right, so he gathered the cleverest scientists from all over the country. They moved to a secret city built in the middle of a vast, empty desert. Day and night they worked together, their minds buzzing with numbers and ideas. They were trying to figure out how to split the atom, a process called fission, to release its incredible energy. Elias explained it to his team like a line of dominoes. "If you knock over the first one," he said, "it knocks over the next, and the next, creating a chain reaction. Splitting one atom releases energy that splits other atoms, creating a burst of power unlike anything the world has ever seen. It would be like capturing a piece of the sun in a jar." As they got closer to solving the puzzle, a heavy silence sometimes fell over the laboratory. The scientists looked at their equations and felt a shiver of fear. They were making a key to unlock a terrible power. "We hope this key will lock the door on this war," one scientist whispered to Elias. "But what if it opens a door to something even worse?" The day came to test their invention. In the deep, dark desert before dawn, everyone held their breath. A countdown echoed in the silence. Then, a light brighter than 1,000 suns filled the sky. A giant fiery cloud rose into the air, and a powerful wind swept across the sand. The scientists had done it. They had uncorked the jar. No one cheered. They just stared in silent awe and terror. The power was greater than any of them had imagined. Elias thought of an old story and whispered to himself, "Now I am become Death, the destroyer of worlds." He knew that the world would never be the same again. The leaders of the country now had a difficult choice. The war was still costing thousands of lives every week. They decided to use the new bomb, hoping its terrible power would force the enemy to stop fighting. They dropped 2 bombs on 2 cities, and just as they had hoped, the long, terrible war finally came to an end. But the celebration was quiet. The world was saved from the Great War, but it now lived with the knowledge of this new, frightening power. Elias and the other scientists spent the rest of their lives speaking to world leaders, pleading for peace. They had created the weapon to end one war, and now they had to make sure it never started another. The secret of the atom, once unlocked, could never be put back in its box. It is a story about how clever people can be, but it is also a powerful lesson. It teaches us that with great knowledge comes great responsibility, and that the hardest, most important work of all is learning to live together in a world where we have the power to destroy ourselves. The hope is, and must always be, for peace.